Welcome. As we learned the other day, solving linear equations, the first step is to distribute. Then you combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign, get all the variables on the same side of the equal sign, get rid of addition or subtraction with the variable, and finally the last step is to get rid of multiplication or division with the variable. Now, today what we're going to do is solve inequalities, linear inequalities. Again, it's almost the exact same steps. There's only two little changes. First is distribute, as we did before. The next is to combine like terms on the same side of the inequality sign. Then get all the variables on the left side of the inequality sign. That is the easiest way to read an inequality. Get rid of addition or subtraction with the variable, and finally get rid of multiplication or division with the variable. But what's important here is whenever you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, you must change the direction of the inequality symbol. Now, if you need to, you can always rewind and pause the video as needed so that you can take notes on what's on the board. So, first thing we're going to do, I'm going to extend this down so it's out of the way, and let's do this example. So in this example, there's no distributive property, the variable's already on the left, there's no like terms, so we're going to start by getting rid of the 7. I'm subtracting 7 from both sides. Negative 10x is greater than or equal to 110. I'm going to do my final step, which is dividing both sides by a negative 10 to get x by itself. Now here's the problem. I'm dividing by a negative. So, oops, not an inequality. It's not an equation, it's an inequality. So I got to make sure I continue to use the inequality. I divided by a negative, so I have to change the direction. So instead of pointing to the right, it's pointing to the left. It still includes the equal or equal to part. And 110 divided by negative 10 is negative 11. And there's my answer to that example. Now down here, we have a problem where it's got division included and everything is on the right-hand side. Well, we're allowed to switch sides of an inequality. Like I can say n minus 7 over 4 compared to 1. I switch sides, but when I do that, I have to make sure if it's pointed at the 1 in this case, it has to continue to be pointed at the 1 here. I switched the direction of the inequality at that point. Now that I've done that, I need to get, actually, I'm going to move all of this over a little bit so I have room. Now that I've done that, I'm going to get the, oops, that's what I wanted. I'm going to get rid of the division by multiplying both sides by 4. Now that's not in our step list, but because I've got the top divided by the bottom, it's essential that we get rid of that denominator, so I multiplied everything on both sides by 4. When I do so, it's over 1, so these 4's cancel, leaving me with n minus 7, greater than, it was a positive 4, so I don't have to change the direction of the inequality, and now I just have to get rid of the 7. N is greater than 11. Coincidentally, it was 11 again. All right, now that we've done that, got a couple examples. Go ahead and pause the video at this point and try doing these on your own, and then I will do them after you unpause the video. All right, so now let's take a look at these examples and we'll see how you do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the negative 5, or you can switch sides at this point if that's preferable for you. So I distributed the negative 5. I get negative 5 minus 30x. At this point, I could just move the 30 over instead of switching sides. And that works as well. And that's what I'm actually going to do here. I'm going to add 30x to both sides. So that gets me 30x minus 155 is less than negative 5. I'm going to add 155 to both sides. And you could have chosen to switch sides. You could have said negative 5 minus 30x and negative 155 and change the direction. Eventually you'd have to change the direction again due to dividing by a negative because of the negative 30. In this case, I don't have to do that. I end up with 30x less than 150. And then when I divide both sides by 30, x is less than, let's see, 5. There's your final answer. X is less than 5. All right, let's take a look at this one that we were going to try next. Oops. We get used to, oh, come on. Used to this board. Doesn't perform the way my other one did. All right, so first step is to distribute. This is that, come on, I picked this. Distribute the 7. So 8x minus 29 less than negative 2x plus 7 plus 28x. All right. The next step in this process is to combine like terms on the same side of the inequality. Come on. 8x minus 29 less than, now negative 2x and 28x make 26x plus the 7. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the variables on the left. So I'm going to subtract 26x from both sides. 8 and negative 26 make negative 18x minus 29. Doesn't like me. Less than 7. I have to get rid of the negative 29. I'm going to add 29 to both sides. Write that over here. Negative 18x is less than, let's see, 36. Now I have to divide by a negative 18. X ends up greater than or equal, because it was a negative, and that'd be negative 2. And there's your final answer. X is greater than negative 2. Take a look at our last one. Give this one a try, see what you can do. All right, I'm going to attempt this one now that you've unpaused it. I'm going to distribute the 3. Negative 7a minus 24a plus 24 less than or equal to, I'm going to distribute a negative 3a minus 24 minus 24a. All right, now combine like terms. I've got like terms here of negative 7a and negative 24a. And on this side, 1. How did it turn purple? 1a and negative 24a. All right, so negative 31a plus 24 less than or equal to negative 23a minus 24. All right, get all the variables on the left. I'm going to add 23a to both sides. In this case, I end up with a negative 8a plus 24 less than or equal to negative 24. I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. Negative 8a less than or equal to negative 48. And we wrap it up with dividing by a negative 8. A is going to change direction of the inequality because of dividing by a negative, and 48 divided by 8, negative is positive, 6. A is greater than or equal to 6. Now, what occurs if the variable cancels out completely? That does happen occasionally, where you have something, let me do a quick example, of 4a plus 7 less than 3a plus 2 plus a. There'd be an example. If I combine like terms, I get 4a plus 7 less than 4a plus 2. And then if I subtract 4a from both sides, I end up with 7 is less than 2. A's are gone completely. Well, if 7 is less than 2, that's not a true statement. So this is no solution. Ran out of room there. No solution. If this were a true statement, it's infinite solutions. And a true statement would be 2 is less than 7. So that is it for today. Have a great day.